Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, but most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.
This is Talk 1470.
Talk 1470.
WNN.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. It has no cure. Parkinson's is not limited to how a person moves. It can also cause symptoms like depression, fatigue, and impaired speech. Today, there is a new diagnosis every 9 minutes, though Parkinson's can be present for years before being diagnosed. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure. For more than 50 years, APDA has funded pioneering research and provided critical support to those affected by Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
Talk 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
AM 1470. WNN. With more of what you need to know.
Get all the latest on health with caller health questions and comments, breaking health news, the health alternative, outrage, and mystery of the week. Dr. Bob Martin Show. Sundays at 10 a.m.
Gallbladder problems, gingivitis, a bad back, indigestion, fatigue, low libido, not sleeping well, need to lose weight. Just some of the topics you'll hear about. Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Martin. Join me Sunday mornings at 10 on Talk 1470 WNN.
Lupus. It's one of the cruelest, most mysterious diseases on Earth. Lupus strikes without warning, can ravage any part of the body, and has no known cause and no known cure. Its health effects range from a skin rash to a heart attack. Lupus is an unpredictable and misunderstood disease that's difficult to diagnose, hard to live with, and a challenge to treat. Help us solve the cruel mystery. We're the Lupus Foundation of America, the only national force devoted to solving the mystery of lupus. We lead the fight to improve the quality of life for all people affected by this devastating disease. To learn more about lupus and how we can help those who suffer from its brutal impact, visit us online at lupus.org or call the Lupus Foundation of America at 1-800-558-0121. That's 1-800-558-0121.
As far back as she can remember, Amy loved computers, how they worked, what they could do. They were a challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could. So she harnessed her passion, and now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
What you want to know. What you need to know. Talk 1470. WNN.
The opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show, the place to fine-tune your swing, dress for the course, club, or cruise, and get tips on the best places to play and stay at the right price. Vacation or staycation, host Dan Shub, along with his expert co-hosts and guests, will tell you where to go. To play golf and vacation, that is. Now, here's Dan.
Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show. I'm your host, Dan Schub, and tonight, like we usually do, we're going to talk a little bit of golf. We'll talk some travel. Got some tales from the road to tell you about, and of course, we also have some great guests lined up for you. 2 of them, as a matter of fact, tonight. Just in a little, we will be chatting with Peter Friedfeld. He's the founder of Aspire Eyewear. We had him scheduled for a couple of weeks ago. Something came up. He couldn't make it, but they've got a unique product line of eyeglasses, sunglasses, and it's really the frames that are cool and inventive and a little bit different from what I'm used to seeing, so I wanted to find out more about that. And also, later on in the show, we will chat with Bob Willix Jr. He is a doctor, and he's also the Chief Executive Officer of and President of Enlightened Living Medicine, and this is a firm that he's actually a surgeon from or he did cardiology and surgery, I believe, heart doctor, and moved from South Dakota. And instead of treating people who are so sick, I think he's kind of taking a different approach, more kind of an enlightened approach, obviously, for well care and to try and just make you well in some unique ways of doing it. So, and he's right here in the Boca area. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Before I talk a little bit about the trip that I just came back from, I did want to talk a little bit of golf talk. Unfortunately, I haven't been playing as much golf lately as I would have liked to have, and we always do like to talk a little bit about golf first. So since I didn't play any golf lately or on this trip, I figured we'd put in a little bit of golf news. And there was something in the news this past week that I thought was interesting, and the timing may be a little bit unfortunate. I don't know. And many of us who play golf or watch the golf on the tour, we're, of course, very familiar with the Titleist brand and the Titleist golf ball. It's the number 1 ball on tour. I believe it's been for, according to them, at least for 40-some-odd years, I think. And I have no reason to doubt that. Most people you see are playing a Titleist ball. A little bit less are playing their clubs. Of course, their clubs do appeal to the better golfers. None of their products are inexpensive. They're a high-priced product, a high-quality product. And they also own FootJoy, which a lot of us like to wear on our feet. They're a good line of golf shoes as well that's been around for a long time. And Titleist, a while back, they were spun off from their parent company that they had been with for a long, long time. And I guess the folks that picked them up are now looking to raise a little bit of capital. And it seems that some of the insiders that are holding the stock are going to be selling some of that stock. So they filed for an IPO this past Monday. They're looking to raise up to $100 million. And as I had mentioned, a little bit interesting because with the Brexit that took place this past week, a lot of companies that are interested in doing IPOs, the timing might not be the best because obviously when they file for an IPO, they've got an idea of a price that they would like their shares to sell for. And being that the market has just recently gone down and is so unstable, oftentimes companies feel that it's not the best time to do an IPO. And of course, on Monday, they didn't necessarily know which way that was going to go and how it would affect things. But many of you, well, sometimes when you buy a set of clubs from them, it almost feels like you've bought a stake in their company because of the amount of money that you've already put down. But if that's not really the way you would like to own a stake in the company and you would like to, you know, maybe you feel that you've lost enough of their Titleist golf balls that if you owned a stake in the company, you'd be better off. This might be your opportunity. So you may want to keep your eyes out in the financial markets to find out when or if, in fact, these will trade. The symbol that they're going to trade under is the 4 letters GOLF. So trading under the golf moniker will be Acushnet Holdings Corp. So, or better known to all of us as Titleist. So I just thought that, we could talk a little bit about that first before we move on to some other topics. And, we'll be talking a little bit more travel and some health as well a little bit later in the show. I guess just briefly a little bit about the trip that I just came back on. This was the trip that I had that whole fiasco with Priceline. And, again, thanks to the Hilton organization and eventually Priceline for kind of stepping up to the plate. I guess better late than never. But the folks from Hilton took good care of me. They canceled my double booking that I ended up having, and I did end up staying at their property. the one that I booked through Priceline, which was just last night, which was in Savannah. Unfortunately, I got there so late at night that I did not get a chance to really enjoy the city itself. But I did want to say that the Embassy Suites, which was located in the historic district, was in a decent location, and it was a beautiful hotel. And obviously the price that I paid, which must have been a mistake, which is hence the issues that I had with Priceline. But if you could get a good deal at the Embassy Suites in Savannah, and of course this time of year, there are some good deals to be had. I do recommend it. Prior to that, I spent 2 nights in Greenville, North Carolina, and was busy working all day. So again, I didn't get a chance to really enjoy too much of what's going on in Greenville. As far as the city goes, I was staying in an area that they call I guess they call it the medical district. A huge campus of hospitals, many affiliated with the university there, East Carolina. And it was extremely modern, very impressive. They obviously all relatively new, so I'm sure that this is something that's been planned in the last decade or two to reinvigorate their economy and focus on healthcare, and it seems that they're doing just a great job. I was very, very impressed. The university itself was very impressive too. I hear about their sports teams that, have some degree of success on occasion. Never really thought much about it being a big university, but it is quite big and beautiful and impressive. Also there, I stayed at Hilton's competition under the Marriott flag. I stayed at the Radisson Inn. And also a lovely property. So I was fortunate to stay at 2 locations, both at moderate prices, and both of them which were suites with, kitchenettes and, kind of nice to have all that at your disposal. There was one fun opportunity that I had to eat out. Went to a place called Sam Jones Barbecue in Greenville. And Sam Jones Barbecue, I guess, is a local secret, but this was one of those places where they had this huge smoker pit kind of thing, room, building, right next to the restaurant. So they were smoking everything right there. I had an opportunity to actually walk back there and watch what was going on in that smoker room. And not only did it look really cool to be able to watch it, but it tasted really good. North Carolina, of course, is an area that's known for their barbecue. And we just felt that, we didn't need to do anything fancy. We just wanted to partake in what was going on there locally, a little bit of the local flavor. And Sam Jones Barbecue, if you're ever in the Greenville, North Carolina area. This was actually my first time in Greenville, North Carolina. Interestingly enough, I decided to drive up there. Flying from South Florida was expensive, impossible to get direct flights. The amount of time it was going to take for me to drive most likely down to Fort Lauderdale, get to the airport a couple hours early, change planes somewhere, Charlotte or Atlanta or wherever. It was going to take almost as long to drive. I have to say it was a long drive. It's really pushing my limits for driving. But I had also mentioned, I believe last week, that lately I've been getting some really good deals through Sixt Rent-A-Car. That's SIXT. And no exception this time. I did it again through them. I rented for 4 days their lower priced sedan, which is entry level equivalent of a Mercedes or a BMW. And actually when we got there, they were offering us a Hyundai Genesis, which is a beautiful car. It was about $155 for the 4 days. And then for about $60 or $70, they upgraded us to a middle-of-the-line Mercedes, a C-Class Mercedes, which, if you're going to be driving 1,000 miles or so or more, you want to be comfortable. But this car was priced similarly to some other rental car companies, a basic mid-sized, Chevy or Dodge or something like that. So I can't recommend enough that you give Sixt a try. They're not in every airport, so you may have to, kind of search first to see if they're where you're going to, but they've got a lot of good deals, especially this time of year. And with their deals, their prices are really wonderful. Their service is good, and the quality of cars are definitely a step above the rest. We got some other travel news for you, which I guess I'll save for later. I've also got some really good deals, as always, some that are kind of close to home here in the Florida area and some that are on the other side of the world. So we'll save those for later on in the show. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, message for our sponsors, and then we'll be back and we'll be talking a little bit about eyewear from Aspire Eyewear with Peter Friedfeld. He's the guy who knows what's going on with this company, and they got some cool stuff, so you won't want to miss it. So stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show. We'll be right back. And we are back. Time for a quick message from our sponsor, Labor Finders. If your business needs industrial workers or if you're looking for work, you got to call Labor Finders, because Labor Finders places for temporary or temporary to hire opportunities for skilled, semi-skilled, or general labor positions such as plumbers, electricians, concrete workers, forklift operators, office clerical workers, hospitality workers, and much, much more. Labor Finders has almost 200 offices nationwide. Near here in Boca Raton, they have offices in Homestead, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and in Jupiter. So if you need legal, insured, hard workers, or if you're looking for work, call Labor Finders toll free at 800-864-7749. That's 800-864-7749, or just visit laborfinders.com.
Don't let the sun catch you crying. The night's the time for all your tears. Your heart may be broken.
And we are back. And down here, if you look into the sun too much, you'll be crying. So Florida sun is strong. You got to protect your eyes. And you may want to look good when you're protecting your eyes, whether it's those reading glasses or driving glasses or sunglasses. But, you know, you want to be fashioning and styling. You don't want them to break. You got to have the right stuff. And I found a company called Aspire Eyewear that's got a really neat product and a neat product line. So I figured we'd find out a little bit more about it, share it with all of you. So to find out more about Aspire Eyewear, we have got the president and CEO, Peter Friedfeld. Peter, are you with us?
With you, Dan. How are you tonight?
I am great. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it.
No, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, you're located out on Long Island, right?
We are. Nice, sunny Long Island. Beautiful day here today.
Yeah, I grew up there, spent most of my life out there. I know right in the area where you're located. I grew up in Plainview.
Oh, not too far at all. And like many Floridians, made their home in Florida from Long Island.
Well, yeah, and I was one of the ones who figured, why wait till I retire? I may as well get a head start on it, you know?
Good move.
Well, you're always welcome to come on down. So why don't you explain to me a little bit about how you found yourself with Aspire Eyewear, what it was that, where your career started a little bit, and how you came to found this kind of product line?
Sure. Our company's been making eyewear for over 70 years, so we're an eyewear specialist, but about 2 or 3 years ago, we started experimenting with 3D printers and really got a really young team here and trying to push the limits on where we can take eyewear. Because eyewear, so many people wear, whether it's sunglasses or for prescription eyewear, but it can be cumbersome, can be heavy, you're wearing it all day. And we knew we wanted to create something very lightweight, very new, very distinctive in the marketplace, so we got to work. And we actually created a new material that enabled us to form eyeglasses and probably produce the lightest pair of eyewear or sunglasses on the market today. It's an incredible material and been on the market for about 9 months now and really getting some great response, not only from our customers directly, but more importantly, consumers really responding very well to what we created.
The fact that they're lightweight, the fact that they're durable is important to me as a traveler. I travel a lot on business and, golf trips and stuff like that. And I don't use glasses typically other than for reading and for sunglasses. And for reading, I've got these little collapsible ones that Callaway's been making for years, and they used to be made better, and now they fall apart. So for me, the flexibility, the fact that they kind of fold up small and they fit in my pocket is all great, but they break. So how is it that you've made something that's, durable, that's, lightweight, but can still hold on to the durability factor when you're traveling, golfing, in and out of airports, et cetera?
Yeah, so what I would love to say is the glasses really are unbreakable. The material itself, which is called SDN4, it's a proprietary material that we created. Just the properties of the material, it's almost like a memory plastic. So it always comes back to shape. It doesn't break. It bends, it flexes, so it moves with you. I don't recommend people just put it in your pocket and, we package it with a beautiful lightweight case. But for me, I put the glasses in my pocket because I'm a traveler too. I'm always moving, and you're on planes, and sometimes you're sitting on your glasses, and it could be a big problem. So Aspire eyewear is so lightweight, but it has this strength and flexibility. So if you're sitting on them, you're not crushing them. If they're in your pocket without a case, it's not going to be a problem. They'll come out in perfect shape every time. It's a self-adjusting frame. It's really cool, and it's one of the glasses that, when people put them on, it's like they have that aha moment, like, wow, this is amazing. Like, and I've watched it happen over and over again. So very durable, very lightweight. There's very two unique properties in the product itself.
Now, as a manufacturer of eyewear, so obviously you manufacture frames, and now what about the lenses that go in? Typically somebody goes to their optometrist and, gets custom fitted, sure, I suppose, for prescriptions or sunglasses. I mean, I'm used to going into a store and trying on sunglasses and I walk out with them. Explain how it works with your product.
Sure. It's a great question. So the product itself is primarily sold in an optical shop. So if your local optical store in town is serviced by optical professionals, and the beauty of that is that you can go in and you can buy the sunglasses. The Aspire sunglasses themselves are beautiful. We'll talk about some of the properties of those in a second as relates to golf, because it's really cool. But you can buy the product ready-made with our beautiful lenses already in the frames, beautiful colors, or more importantly, a lot of people need vision correction. So the reason why we're working with eye care professionals is because they can provide the best choices in lenses, whether it's prescription sunglasses or prescription clear eyeglasses. Your local optical professional can handle both of those, opportunities and get you in the right product, that's right for you. And especially, because your readers are traveling, or your listeners are traveling, playing golf, a lot of times they might have specific needs, as relates to golf, like what type of lens will be best for me, and that's always a big question that I think a lot of my customers get asked. So, by working with an eyeglass professional, they can help tailor the needs of the product, and you're also making sure you're buying a quality product with a quality lens because, it's all about your vision, right? So, when you're playing golf, vision is so critical.
Sure.
You want clarity, and you're going to get that with this product when it's professionally dispensed with our customers.
So let's talk a little bit then about not so much on the prescription side, but about
sure,
the sunglasses and the different kinds of sunglasses, the different colors, polarized, not polarized. So, I use my sunglasses when I'm driving here in Florida. I use them when I play golf. On rare occasions, I might be lucky enough and I get invited on somebody's boat. So, for the fishermen, the boaters, the golfers, the drivers, the people on the beach, are there specific colors that are better, and is polarized or non-polarized better for these different options?
Yeah, it's interesting. I reached out to a lot of people in the past few days, especially as it relates to golf, because I'm a world traveler, but I can't say I'm a world-class golfer.
Well, very few of us are, so that's okay.
So I wanted to really understand people that were using the product and ask them that question. And it's interesting because I didn't find a consensus. So what I would say is that, in an ideal world, people may have different pair of glasses, especially related to sunglasses, for different uses. So someone that is boating and on the water, they may want to have polarized lenses, which you can get in an Aspire frame, because polarized is going to be the best at cutting glare. And I know that down there in Florida you have a lot of boaters, people on the water, and people just love polarized lenses for that reason. Mm-hmm. When it comes to golf, I've spoke to two people that say they are serious golfers and they love the sport and they're out there. And one guy told me, I love polarized lenses because it's cutting the glare. And when I'm driving and my eyes go up and I'm looking at the sun, this is going to be the best for cutting the glare, even on reading the greens. And as it relates to color, my friend recommended brown color. Mm-hmm. We actually have another brand called Revo, which is a great polarized sunglass, and there's a driving lens called Open Road that works great on golf courses for reading the greens. It's a brown color, but it really cuts glare, but it allows you to read the greens. I've had some other people that say, if they're out there every week golfing and reading the greens is so important that they want to see every subtle difference in a course. A polarized lens is going to cut the glare, and it might cut the glare that you're using to read the greens. So it almost came down to personal preference. Some people love it. Some people say they won't golf without it because they need to cut the glare, and others say, no, polarized doesn't work for me. So I wish I could give you a perfect answer, but I don't think there is. It's more about personal use and how often you play and what's important to you, besides looking great, because what we can assure you is you're going to look great in our Aspire glasses because they're really cool looking. That's like a benefit of the product itself, how it was developed. They're very cool looking. But you want glasses to give you protection. Another thing that came up is with Aspire glasses themselves, they have a wrap. So it's a slight curvature to the front of the frame, and that's really important for blocking light from hitting you from the side. So whether you're driving a car or driving on a golf course or driving a boat, that side glare sometimes creates problems. So the frames that have a slight wrap like Aspire, the sunglasses, really work well for that.
No, I would agree with that, and I think what you said about the polarized, I agree with. That I think the darker colors, the brown is typically good. Sometimes I like the reddish, pinkish ones for like an overcast day. It kind of brightens things up a little bit. But I think the cool thing is that, as you said, different people have different preferences, and with your frames, they can choose what kind of lens preference they prefer. Correct?
Correct. The Aspire frames come standard with an optical quality lens. Some of them have a slight mirror flash on them. They have a great fashion look. They come in different colors. But any frame can be put into a polarized, or any of our Aspire frames can be ordered with a polarized lens at your local optician or optometrist.
And you
so
do have
a customization that they can do for you.
As far as the styles of the frames, I know you have a broad line. I think I saw today that a brand new one was just introduced. So why don't you just talk a little bit about the fashion side?
Sure. So what I said earlier is, when you wear Aspire frames, like people notice you. They notice you're wearing something different, and not in a strange way, like in a very complimentary way. It's like, hey, those are really cool glasses. And it happens a lot because I've been wearing them. I think anyone who has worn them has that same response from people. So we offer a variety of styles in the sunglass collection. I think there's 7 new styles. They're all cool fashion colors, great fashion lenses, so they look great. If a product doesn't perform for you, especially if you're in performance eyewear, it's not good. And if you don't look great in the product, you're not going to wear it. So we try to give you both. We give you the performance and a great fashion look.
Kind of a retail price range for these glasses?
Sure. So I think it ranges. Aspire probably around $250 for the sunglasses, and then depending on what type of lens you're putting into the product, it can increase. But I think in $225, $250 is a good price point for this product.
Yeah, and I know I have insurance for that, so sometimes I get money back, so that's always a good thing. You don't get that when you go to the local
it actually,
mall.
And you can use it for eyewear. It's a great benefit, and many people do have it, and it's a good use of your insurance dollars.
So like I said, there's a broad line. If people would like to take a look at the line so that they have an idea, And then if they find something, obviously they could go to their local optician, and if they don't carry it, then they can ask about having them carried. Or I suppose on your website, maybe they can even search for opticians that you work with?
Yeah, absolutely. So on our website, which is Aspire, ASPIRE,